Hi, my name is Bowley. Today we're going to talk about IoT, or Internet of Things, in highway construction and heavy civil. On the right, you'll see the only sunbeam toast with radiant control, automatic beyond belief. So this toaster, when it first came out, it was state of the art. You could drop the bread in there, and let's see, it says bread levers itself automatically, no levers to push. Toast raises itself silently without popping or banging. So I guess you put the bread in there and it goes down for you, and you don't gotta press a lever and it pops back up when it's done. You just put the bread in there and you walk away. So that's just one example of IoT, not related to construction, but a cool example to kind of give you an idea of what we're gonna be talking about today. The outline. So here's an outline. Y'all can look if y'all want to look any further. Purpose and application. So IoT, we refer to it as Internet of Things. It's a system of interconnected computing devices. So in construction, we use technology to improve our safety, responsiveness, awareness, and many other things by interconnecting computing devices across a job site. So not only does IoT connect devices across the job site, but most importantly, IoT automates tasks that waste human hours. So we'll talk about an example here, an analogy used by Unearth. You can get it from our references. Talks about how some refrigerators detect when you're low on certain foods and automatically order them for you. So it's automating that need for a human hour to go and order food or even notice that the food's missing in the first place. So IoT types, this is in construction. So there's machine control, there's site monitoring, fleet management, and there's wearables. So machine control, so it's the construction industry self-driving car. Dozers, graders, and other pieces of equipment are functioning solely on GPS and other geotechnical programs. Progress, movements, and statuses are updated in real time. This can give the superintendent better accuracy for scheduling throughout the day. And then down here in the bottom right corner, I believe this is an example of somebody who sells graders and dozers that are autonomous. So site monitoring, so waiting on materials to be delivered can take a while and cause delays, eventually equaling dollars lost in the project. Time is money. With the use of IoT, we can now allocate sensors to storage areas that detect pressure or visually detect an absence of material. This IoT senses the lack of materials and automatically orders or raises flags. So instead of somebody having to go out there and check all the rebar or all the 2x6s or all the materials, this thing automates it for you and will tell you when you're running low, or can even order more bar or whatever you need on the job site by itself. So fleet management, equipment often gets lost or needs maintenance. With the use of IoT, we can track the equipment's location, speed, fuel usage, and maintenance issues. So it kind of keeps you ahead of the 8 ball with the fleet management. I know in the company I'm working for right now, a lot of equipment gets forgot about, or even though it's hard to believe, it kind of gets lost in different job sites. And with this IoT, we can track our equipment and know exactly where it is instead of having assistant superintendent or somebody have to keep track of that, because sometimes they don't do too good of a job. Wearables. Wearables connect inanimate objects to the internet, and this is where VR can come into play in the construction industry. I posted some links down here. It's going to show you a little bit about what Microsoft is doing with their VR headset. It's called the HoloLens. I think a couple of us have seen it. If you've been through ARC 2, Ms. Spencer, really, she brings some of those in there and lets us try them on, and she's all gung-ho for them. So if you haven't taken ARC 2, then you might want to check this out, and if you have, well, maybe you still want to check this out. It's pretty cool, really expensive, but definitely interesting. Costs, so hardware and software, um, infrastructure and retrofitting. So you got a piece of equipment that we couldn't doesn't have any kind of electrical on it, or no GPS in it. You'd have to retrofit that old piece of equipment. So you have to look into, is it worth doing that, or just buying one with it already integrated into it. So downtime planning, you have to plan for your downtime for these pieces of equipment that are getting retrofitted. Consultation services, if you're new to the industry with IoT, you'd want to get consulted and get a kind of better understanding of what you're really getting out of your equipment and other services that the IoT can provide you. Subscription fees, apps for site monitoring or whatever it may be with your video cameras, and then security measures, data security. If you're moving more things on the internet, you got to make sure that data is safe. So safety, IoT actually has the ability to warn workers when entering an unsafe workspace, and it can help reduce theft by allocation of materials and immediate calls to dispatch. So a cool thing they're trying to do right now is put notifications on an app that everybody uses across the job site on their tablets or their phones, and it'll actually ping them whenever they're walking into a dangerous area on a job site, so they can keep their wits about them and stay focused. Yeah, and there's also less mental fatigue reported from the operators of equipment. This greatly reduces the chance for mental lapses that often result in injury or death. So yeah, if the piece of equipment is pretty much driving itself and you're just sitting there, you're more of a supervisor. And I know when people get tired, that's when safety starts becoming an issue, because people get reckless when they're tired, start moving fast, not paying attention to what they're doing, and this just kind of brings you away from that. By just supervising the equipment instead of having to run it all day long for 8 hours. So in summary, although there won't be an initial return on investment, IoT can and does save money for many construction management groups across the world. Some IoT can cost less than a tablet, yet save countless dollars over the years. Retrofitting can be pricey, but the long-term benefit will pay off. Eventually, startup businesses will be making use of these technologies and will conquer the industry. Jump on the IoT train or be left broke and in the dust. So test your knowledge. What does IoT stand for? And then what does IoT do? Um, Pretty simple questions. If you paid attention to my PowerPoint at all, you should be able to answer those. And then here's a list of my references. I think I'll post the links in the comments. Maybe not. Then any questions? If you have any questions, just feel free to comment.